Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. I want to continue breaking down the affidavit for you. As you know, I did the whole affidavit. Now I'm giving you little bite-sized pieces, the big capturing, because obviously there's so much to it, 19 pages, right? And so in this episode, I want to share with you how he stalked the girls 12 times before doing what he did. The suspected Idaho killer, Bryan Kohberger, he stalked out his victims' home 12 times before doing what he did to them. That's according to the police affidavit that has now been revealed. Authorities have released the probable cause affidavit ahead of his hearing later today. But they shared it early this morning after he received it. It reveals how Kohberger turned his phone off on the night of the murders in an attempt to cover his tracks before the murders, turning it off before getting too close to the property. He even returned to the scene of the crime at 9 a.m. on November 13th, just hours after he is said to have committed this incident, allegedly. But my gosh, returned to the scene of the crime at 9 a.m., according to his cell phone records. The document says that the criminal justice graduate, he stalked the property in the late evening and early morning on each occasion, with the exception of one. Officials, they have not revealed the exact dates that he canvassed the three-story property, but they did confirm that in August he was pulled over just 2 minutes after leaving the area covered by the cell phone tower closest to the home. And a Latah County Sheriff's deputy pulled him over on August 21st at 11:37 p.m. as part of a traffic stop in which he provided his telephone number. During the stop, which was recorded on the officer's body cam, Kohberger was driving his white Hyundai Elantra. And so that's what the document is sharing, because on December 23rd, 7 days before they would finally arrest him, pursuant to that search warrant, the affiant who put in this whole information into the affidavit, he says, I received historical records for the 8458 phone, which is his phone, from AT&T from the time the account was opened in June 2022. After consulting with CAST Special Agent, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from June 2022 to present, the time period that was authorized by the court. And so they were able to track what he was doing. And because of the series of traffic stops, officers were able to link both the car and the phone number to Kohberger and look up each time his device pinged to the tower closest to the property. On the night of the murders, Kohberger's phone pinged a cell tower close to his apartment in Pullman, Washington. It then is seen leaving the area of his residence at 2:47 a.m. and traveling south through Pullman, which cops have confirmed lines up with the movement of his white Hyundai caught on camera. His phone then stops reporting to the network, with FBI experts confirming that it is consistent with the phone being turned off on airplane mode or in an area without any phone coverage. And so court documents, it shows that his phone is not active again until 4:48 in the morning in the southbound lane of Highway 95 just south of Moscow. Kohberger then travels towards Genesee, Uniontown, and eventually back to Pullman between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m. The cell phone data then pings. He returns to his property, which is again caught on camera when the Elantra drives north on Stadium Drive at 5:27 a.m. His phone then left his apartment again at 9 a.m. and traveled towards Moscow back towards the King Road residence and arrived between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. So friggin' chilling. Wow. Kohberger then returned home to his apartment in Pullman at 9:32 a.m. Again, this is only like a 10-minute or less drive, with further analysis showing that Kohberger passed a coffee stand at 12:36 p.m. after the murders. That's what I shared this morning when I went through the whole thing. He then went grocery shopping in Washington at 12:46 p.m., leaving at Albertson's grocery store at 1:04 p.m. It is unclear what he bought at that store. The suspected killer, he was in Johnson, Idaho between 5:32 p.m. and 5:36 before appearing to be turned off again until 8:30 p.m. His phone has remained off or not connected to the network since November 14. The affidavit, which was written by Peace Officer Brett Payne, adds, "Based on my training, experience, and facts of the investigation thus far, I believe that Kohberger was likely the driver of the white Elantra that is observed departing Pullman, Washington, and that this vehicle is likely suspect vehicle 1. Additionally, the route of travel of the phone during the early morning hours of November 13th and the lack of phone reporting to the tower between 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m. is consistent with Kohberger attempting to conceal his location during this quadruple homicide that occurred at the King Road residences." And so you can see here, this is from dailymail.com, a little breakdown, and I'll dive into it. I normally want to share as much as I can, right? And so you can see here how the phone records revealed Bryan Kohberger's stalking, right? You can see it right there. August 21st, Bryan Kohberger's phone, ending in 8458, was picked up by a cell phone tower providing coverage to the murder house, 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. He was in the vicinity of the victim's home between 10:34 p.m. and 11:35 p.m. that night. Kohberger was picked up by cell phone tower near the property at least 11 more times before the incident on November 13th. Cops have yet to share further details of those subsequent visits. November 13, 2022, 2:42 a.m., Kohberger's phone was picked up by a cell tower near his home, 1630 Northeast Valley Road in Pullman, Washington. At 2:47 p.m., phone pinged again, indicated that it had begun to travel south through Pullman. Moments later, the phone stopped pinging, indicated that it had been put on airplane mode, turned off, or dropped off the network. Between 4 a.m. and 4:20 a.m., Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were all done in to death at 1122 King Road. 4:48 a.m., Kohberger's phone pings network again on Idaho State Highway 95, south of Moscow. At 4:50 to 5:26, the phone pings show it traveling south on ID 95 to Genesee, Idaho, then west towards Uniontown, Idaho, and back north into Pullman, Washington. And Kohberger's phone at 5:30 a.m. pings again at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, indicating that he'd arrive back home at 5:30. Then later on November 13th, 9 a.m., Kohberger's phone is on the move again and travels back to the vicinity of the King Road murder house. It is picked up by a nearby cell phone tower between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. At 9:32, his phone indicates that he's arrived back home in Pullman. And let's be real. It's going to be hard for him to give a reason. Yeah, I was over there for this reason. I was over there for that reason. Then they're going to have to find out if that's true. My friends, he is not looking good. Let's be real. It is not looking good for this guy at all. he is best off taking a plea deal and avoiding that DP, death, you know what? Because this is not looking good at all. At all. Right? The truth is, we want justice for these girls. That's really it. Right? We want justice for the boy. That's really it. Wow, right? And so we did find out where his DNA was found, and I'm going to do another little short video on that, trying to break down the affidavit so you don't have to sit through an hour of reading or watching or whatever, and break it down into little bite-sized pieces for you. So hopefully that's a little easier for you to follow, because obviously, you know, I did it earlier this morning, and it's a lot to follow. It is, right? And so I want to make sure that I give you all the information that I can around this. And it probably won't be till tonight that I can get to that. My friends, I am Manny Rodriguez. The whole purpose is about the victims, being a voice for the victims. This whole thing is about the victims. This is not to celebrate Bryan. Screw Bryan if he's the one that did this. But I do want to keep you completely updated if you like diving deep into what happened into these crazy crime scenes, right? Thank you, my friends, for joining me. I look forward to being a voice for the victims and serving you again. Peace. Have a great day, my friends.